Hello everybody, welcome once again to the amazing, the one and only adventures of Eredean. And on this episode we are looking at /rollneed again. This time, instead of the loot crate, as you probably already know, because I should have already put the loot crate video out, especially since I've got this fancy tie on from my loot crate video. We are moving on to something new, and I'm hoping you'll enjoy that. This month came out was the new block, the new set from Theros block, Born of the Gods, which I'm holding this backwards. And this is the Fat Pack, and I thought I'd do a little Fat Pack unboxing because I haven't actually seen any of these online from at least people I watch, and I know people I watch play Magic, so I don't know. I thought I'd do one. I hope you all enjoy this one, and if you do, please tell me below what you think. If you want to see more unboxings from future sets, as well as more Born of the Gods unboxings, perhaps. So this is what it looks like. It's got awesome art of Zangos, who is the mad reveler satyr god, who previously was just a planeswalker, and now he has become a god. So put that there, and obviously it's got the standard cardboard over everything. We also have the, what is this called? The player's guide for this particular set, but it also, you know, if you're new to playing Magic, you get a Fat Pack, learn how to play, kind of. I mean, honestly, if you're new to Magic and you're just going to play your first game, you probably want one of the pre-constructed decks, the intro decks. And obviously the cardboard over everything. And then, so I can put this back over this and you can kind of see the box. So obviously, Xenagos on both sides, Born of the Gods. Pretty awesome set, which has awesome implications, and it goes into Greek mythology, which is the first time we're really delving into this with the Magic universe. Theros block is pretty awesome, and I've been loving the heck out of it. I have I have 3 decks I built around Theros block by itself, and that's 3 heroic decks actually. They were all heroic decks. 2 white blues. One was focused on life gain, and then the other one was focused on creating big creatures, and then, well, not big creatures necessarily, but a lot of tough creatures that are kind of crazy, and then one red-white one that's focused on getting a lot of pretty tough creatures really quickly and just being crazy, whereas the white-blue is obviously pretty crazy in the sense that it's blue, which is a very controlly color, and yeah. So obviously it comes with a massive amount of lands, which you will obviously need, and probably won't be enough because I always forget how many they put in here, but I think they put in like, I don't think they put 20 of each color, so I don't think you would have enough for a deck. I always forget though, because I could be lying completely. Let's actually read on the back of this thing. Does it come with enough lands? 80 card basic land pack, and there's 5 basic colors. So it doesn't have enough for one color, but it has enough for multicolor. I guess that's the thing. I don't know why they don't just put 100 in there. You'd think. But, you know, you got the basic things. Pretty awesome art that's very based on Greek mythological environments, as well as actual environments in Greek culture. So I'm just going to show a couple that really poked my eyes. Which, honestly, if you want to see the best art, always go to blue. I don't like blue. Blue is my probably most hated color along with black, but damn do they have amazing artwork on their land. So I'm going to go through these packs. I'm going to go through them quick because I'm not even going to look at the commons or uncommons unless they catch my eye, which they probably won't. So we're going to open our first one. Oh, I should show these two. So we also got two little, basically, deck holders, which are, they're okay. They won't fit in if you get sleeves for your deck, so something like this, which is from Theros that I got from my white-red one that I played in draft that I completely demolished with. White-red all the way, baby. Even though I went with a green deck because they were out of white, I don't care. I made a white-red deck. Screw you guys. So, you know, those are pretty okay if you're just gonna put your cards in them, because they're not gonna fit with sleeves. They're not. They just don't. And then we also get a little die, which is this little, just a white-black one. It has the set symbol in it. So we're just gonna put that to the side, maybe right there so you can see it kind of. It's obviously a 20-sided die. It's actually not actually a die, it's just a life counter because it actually moves, unlike a normal die which has the numbers sort of erratically placed, but strategically placed, so it always comes up different. If you roll that, it'll be really weird. It's made so you can go 20 and then like barely flip it, so you go to 19, 18, all that stuff, so you can find them really quickly. Whereas a normal one, you can't really do that. It's a life counter, essentially, because like as you could probably see, for normal Magic people, this makes perfect sense, but probably already know it and like, why are you wasting my time? But I just thought I'd explain all that. And that replaces the 20, obviously, and as you can see, the 19's right by it, so you can just flip to the 19, you flip to the 18, you flip to 17, then you flip to 16, and you go on from there, blah, blah, blah. And then you slowly die, unless you play a life gain deck, which sometimes I do. I will say in limited draft, life gain decks tend to be nice because it's really hard to get that 20 damage, let alone when you have somebody gaining more life most of the time. Here's one that stands out to me, which is this Nyxborn Shieldmate, which you can clearly see right here, the art for at least, who is an enchantment soldier, costs 1 white, and he has this new art, or this new thing called Bestow, and I'm going to try and put a little picture right here of him. He has Bestow, which it means you can enchant him unlike normal creatures, and you can enchant him onto a creature, so if you play him with a heroic creature, you get to buff him. Or you could just use him as a normal creature if you really need him. He's very malleable in that sense. So our rare for this pack is Mindreaver, who costs 2 blues. Whenever you cast a spell that targets Mindreaver, exile the top 3 cards of target player's library. So basically, like the other thing, you know, you can use enchantments or you can use instants, all this kind of stuff that targets this guy right here. And I'm going to put something up of him, Mindreaver. And he's a 2/1, and then, so whenever something that targets him, he's going to exile the top 3 cards of the other guy's library, which is very nice. And then you could sacrifice him for 2 blue to counter a target spell with the same name as a card that he's exiled, which is very nice because you have this guy who's basically very scary that you can counter something that he's exiled, which is pretty awesome. And I can guarantee that was pretty boss in limited, though in normal play I wouldn't say he's very good at all. So I'm not seeing much on my way to my rare, and we're here and there's nothing really. Return all creatures to their owner's hands except for krakens, leviathans, octopuses, and serpents. It is a sorcery, and it costs 2 blue and 2 colorless. So we're going to check that out and kind of see the art there. And as usual, I'm going to put it up right here. And then we're gonna keep moving on. They always come with these two, which also, you know, kind of explain to newer players how to play the game. And I'm not really gonna go over that because it's kind of a pain in the butt to get it folded back. But I have so many of those. I don't know why I keep them, but I have so many that I've just kept for no good reason. So I can right away see on accident that I have a shiny, which is a foil. I doubt it's a rare, but yeah, it's not a rare. But we do have this awesome rare, which I've heard people going ape shit about, which is the Spirit of the Labyrinth, which costs 1 white and 1 colorless. Each player can't draw more than 1 card each turn, which is awesome. It's killer against blue. It's a 3/1. It's an enchantment creature spirit, and she's pretty pretty, and I like her flavor text. And then we have this Setessan Oathsworn, who is a Satyr Warrior, 2 green, 1 colorless. He has heroic that he'll put 2 1/1 counters every time you target this guy, and he's a 1/1. Now, he sucks in kind of ways. Like, he sucks coming out. If he gets killed right away, you just wasted 3 mana, and that really sucks. But it also means that your opponent wasted a kill card of some kind on him. But as soon as you get to target him, he becomes a 3/3, and he makes up for that amount of mana you spent on him. And then he becomes bigger and bigger and bigger just by himself. It's pretty cool. And you can kind of see the shininess of him. It's not so... It doesn't come up very well on camera, but you can kind of see the shiny. He's okay. I don't play white-green with heroic because I got kind of spurned from the pre-release green that came, and she sucked. Because I think you could turn 2 land into trees every time you targeted her, and that was so bad. It was clearly a card that they thought up its ability at the last minute because her old one was overpowered or something. And we're moving on to the next pack, which again, I'm not really seeing much. There's some okay stuff. Nothing I really want to talk about though, because it's not anything particularly useful. But we do have a black card, 1 black, 3 colorless, called Guild. With G-I-L-D, not G-U-I-L-D. So it's Guild. Guild. Like not Guild. Like Guild. Exile a target creature, put a colorless artifact token named Gold into the battlefield. It has sacrifice this artifact, add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool. So, essentially, you could exile somebody else's thing and you gain control of that in a sense. You're not actually getting control of that. You're basically turning it into gold and then using it as a kill it to add 1 mana to it. So it's pretty neat. It's pretty cool. I like it. So you're gonna, you know, you got a kill card, which is even better than a kill card in most retrospects, because sometimes you can bring back exiles with certain combinations, but I don't think in this set. So I don't think you have to worry about that. But you basically gain a sacrifice, a bonus with it that you can use any amount of mana, which is pretty awesome. Not any amount of mana, any color of mana, sorry. So again, I didn't really see much on our way here, but I did see Plea for Guidance, which is pretty neat. It is a 1 white, 5 colorless sorcery card that makes you search your library for up to 2 enchantment cards, reveal them and put them into your hand, then shuffle your library. Now that's not amazing. It's basically the cost of another card that's 2 of the same thing. It's okay. It's pretty good, though. Especially in Limited. When you're playing Heroic. Now we have Mortal's Resolve Shiny. Oh, you can see that real well back here. Not so much up here. But yeah, okay. I'm going to do that from now on. Target creature gets 1/1 and gains indestructible until end of turn. It's a 1 green, 1 colorless. It's pretty great. If you're going white-green heroic, or just going green heroic, which I don't know why you'd be doing white-green heroic. It's much better, but nonetheless, you could use this. Indestructible is amazing if you're gonna, if you're blocking a creature or something, and you need that 1/1 bonus to kill it, and then you gain indestructible with that. And then you're setting off whatever its heroic is, which usually is counters. Okay. There's a lot of good flavor things if you know, Greek mythology too, which I love, but they're not amazing cards. I will say that much. So now we have Faded Conflagration, which is one of the 5 faded cards, which has one of every color type. There's a faded card. I think I have all 5 actually already, but this one is the red one, and it costs 3 red, 1 colorless, and it's an instant, which means you can use it on either person's turn. And Faded Conflagration deals 5 damage to target creature or planeswalker, which is an important thing to note, that you can deal the damage to a planeswalker, because it's basically instant kills any planeswalker. I don't think any planeswalker has any more than 5 health starting out, though I'm sure somebody could get it pumped up on turn 1 to more than that. And then if it's your turn, scry 2. So if you use it as essentially a sorcery, which you can, it kind of like a sorcery. It's not necessarily actually a sorcery, but nonetheless, if you're basically using it on your turn, you scry 2, which is you take the top 2 cards on your deck, look at them. If you don't like one or both of them, you put them on your bottom of your deck, or you can put one or both in any order back on top, which is pretty nice. It's okay. Scry is definitely a thing that's came back in this set, which is really good, especially when you're playing white-blue, and you need an enchantment. You don't need another creature. Put that creature on the bottom of your library. Oh, it's an enchantment. Keep it. Oh, it's another land. I don't need more of those. Oh, it's a land. I need one. All kinds of things you could do. Scry is very cool. It's okay. It's not great. Nothing I can really note. Usually there's more good stuff that I get. That's from the regulars. I'm probably not actually seeing anything, but oh, I've been wanting. This is basically Hercules. So, he is Hero of Iroas. Iroas. It's something like that. He's a 1 white, 1 colorless. He's a human soldier. Very, very important combination of 2 things. He's a human and he's a soldier. Oh, I play white weenies all the time, which is human soldiers. Human soldier is extremely relevant. It's very relevant. So if you're playing, soldiers or humans, or you're playing human soldier deck, that the fact that he has both of those, always awesome. Just for those who don't know. Really, I know people probably rage at me saying all this, but still. So Aura spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. That is so awesome. I mean, if you have something that even costs 1, you're probably not going to get an aura that costs 1 colorless, which is very important to note. That is 1 colorless, not 1 white, not 1 blue, not anything like that. It's 1 colorless. So, let me just check if I have anything like that here. Which I should, because, okay, so yeah. I have, of course it costs 1 red. Okay, so the bestow cost still counts. Because, so this one is the Nyxborn Wolf, which I'll put up big as usual. And he's technically an aura spell once you use him as bestow. So he has 1 green, 4 colorless. He then becomes 1 green, 3 colorless, which could mean a lot, because you could just have that 4 mana. And suddenly you have enough to cast this guy, or you have more than enough to cast him and something else now. And then on top of that, he's a 2/2. So out of this, you're already getting a lot out of a 2/2 for 2 mana. And then he has Heroic. Whenever you cast a spell on him, you put a 1/1 counter on him. So he gets bigger as you're already making him bigger. He's so relevant, especially to what I play. I'm not even putting him in the stack because I need to make sure I know where he is. So we've got 2 more packs to go. And I'm so super pumped after getting Hero because he's so awesome. He's Hercules. He really is. I mean, his flavor text reads, "My left has felled a Cyclops, my right has slain a giant. I bring both to every fight." Of course, speaking of his fists. And going through this one, I'm having the same problem. The Cetestus Oathsworn, the Shield Mate, this is kind of cool. It's the Springleaf Drum, which essentially turns any creature into an elf. Lano War Elf, who tap an untapped creature you control, add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool. Pretty good, honestly. I like that. I definitely use it in some kind of artifact deck. I definitely use it in a 5-color deck. Oh, great. And the most ridiculous freaking creature of this set, the Chromanticore, who is 1 of every color. So he's 5 mana, 1 of every color. He's a Manticore, he's an enchantment creature, who has a bestow of 1 of every color, so all 5, and then 2 colorless. And he has Flying, First Strike, Vigilance, Trample, Lifelink. He's a 4/4. That's all really good, but in a... you have to build with all colors, and that's so... there's not a lot to all colors. You're looking at getting something from every color, and that's awesome. But there's not a lot of theme. So you don't have human soldiers. You can't build around making human soldiers or something like that. You can't build around Manticores that are 1 of every color. You can build around Dominion, which is pretty good, but it's an old thing, and you're not going to use it in Limited. But he's pretty cool. He is my first mythic rare that I've got in this little thing. But he's pretty cool. So when you enchant a creature with him, because he has that bestow cost, enchanted creature gets the 4/4, Flying, First Strike, Vigilance, Trample, and Lifelink, which is all very amazing things, but I don't know if it's worth building a 5-color deck in this set. I'm sure somebody in Legacy loves the thing, though, because I couldn't imagine not loving it. I just don't see it being useful in this set. That's my only gripe with it. Other than he's a Manticore, and I don't like Manticores. What do we got? Divination, of course. Alright, so our last rare is the Herald of Torment. He is 2 black, 1 colorless. I can't tell where he begins and where he ends, but he is definitely there. He is an enchantment creature demon. He has a bestow cost of 2 black and 3 colorless. He has Flying, and at the beginning of your upkeep, you use 1 life. Enchanted creature gets +3/+3 in Flying. I don't know if that beginning of your upkeep, you lose 1 life applies to if he's an enchantment, but I'm sure he does. And, when you're playing black, that's what you're risking. And when you're paying 3 mana for a 3/3 with Flying, you need to pay for that. Now, at the same time, if you want to play white-black, a good way to use this card would be to pacify a creature and then put this on him. It just is an example of way you can screw people over instead of using him for yourself and buffing a really big creature. What you should be doing is using him to buff a big creature or using him as a big creature. But nonetheless, you can basically take away your opponent's life at their upkeep, 1 life every turn, on a pacified creature, which, can't do anything. So that is the end of this roll need. I know that it's been a little bit of a long one, and I'm sorry if that bothers you, but I don't know. I don't really know how to do one of these any shorter. It's a long, opening, and I understand that, and I'm sorry if that bugs you, but I hope you enjoyed anyway, because I had fun. I got some pretty cool cards. I got one that I love. And as always, hope you've all had a hell of a week. Now somebody hit my music. Oh really? I can't, do it myself? Okay. Apparently I can't plant myself. I'm too incompetent. I'm incompetent and smelly.